joining me for another What's Cooking Wednesdays with Jay. So today we are going to make chicken Alfredo lasagna. Yay! It's going to be everything from scratch, even the Alfredo sauce. It'll be quick, simple, well maybe not quick, but it will be simple and easy, I promise, and I'll be with you every step of the way. So let's get started. We are going to start with 2 chicken breasts, and we cut them the long way. Okay, so we have 4 pieces of chicken breast. We're going to season them simply with just salt and pepper. Okay, and then we're going to saute them in a cast iron skillet with just a little bit of olive oil. And then once they're done, we will shred the chicken and then begin the Alfredo sauce. Okay, so I'm going to go run and put these in the pan, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now we are going to make the ricotta mixture that goes in between the layers. Most people use ricotta, however, I use ricotta and I add cottage cheese. It adds a little bit more flavor. One thing that I am a stickler for is bland food. So I would like to find things to add to ordinary food to just make it a little bit more flavor. So I'm going to add 15 ounces of ricotta cheese. I also have 24 ounces of cottage cheese that I'm going to mix in with that. Now I had it in this strainer to drain some of the extra milk that's normally found in cottage cheese, so that the mixture won't be so runny after it bakes. Okay, so that's 24 ounces of cottage cheese and 15 ounces of ricotta. This is 8 ounces of cooked spinach, fresh spinach. You can buy it frozen already, it's up to you. So that's 8 ounces of cooked spinach, and I drained it and got as much of the water out of that as well, so that the mixture won't be so runny. Okay, and then we're going to add 2 eggs. And this is serves as a binder, just like if you're making macaroni and cheese. So mix in the 2 eggs. And then we're going to also add some Parmesan cheese and some mozzarella. Okay, so now we're going to add a cup of shredded mozzarella cheese. And then this mixture will be ready for the layering. So just mix this in, and then making a mess. And then we're going to check on our chicken and put our lasagna noodles on. Okay, and then after that, once the chicken is done, we will start to build our Alfredo sauce. Alright, so we have our chicken cooking in the skillet with just a little bit of olive oil and salt and pepper. And these are just about done. They're nice and firm. Got some nice color on it. And we're going to take these out and let them rest so that all the juices stay inside of the chicken. And after about 10 to 15 minutes, we'll shred the chicken. On the exact same pot, we're going to turn the skillet down to about 2. We are going to add just a little bit more olive oil so that we can saute our onions and garlic. So we're going to start with about a half of a large onion, or just a medium onion, that we're going to saute until it gets translucent. Basically, like you can pretty much see through them. They won't be this white, they'll turn a little clear. And then we're going to add about a clove of garlic. Of chopped garlic. I buy my garlic already chopped, so a teaspoon equals 1 clove. So we're going to add that, cook it around just a little bit until it becomes aromatic, which means that you can smell it. Once you start smelling the garlic, you don't want it to burn. So you cook this, it cooks very, very fast. So if you need to turn your pan down even more, do so. Okay? Now we're going to start to build our Alfredo sauce. We have our lasagna noodles back here. Those are boiling for about 8 minutes because they'll finish cooking in the oven. So we're going to start with 16 ounces of heavy cream. Then we're going to add a cup of shredded Parmesan cheese. Mix that in, get that to melt really good. I'll let that melt down. It's going to take a few minutes. But while we're waiting for that to melt, make sure you stir it frequently so that your parm doesn't stick to the bottom and burn, okay? Then we're going to add 4 ounces of softened cream cheese. Again, I'm a stickler for bland food, so I look for things to add that will add more flavor. So all I did was I put the cream cheese in the bowl. It's a half a stick of cream cheese. Put that in a bowl and heat it up for maybe 30 seconds. And we're going to mix that in until everything is smooth. We are going to also add some basil leaves, dried basil leaves. You can use fresh. We're going to do about a tablespoon of basil leaves, a tablespoon of oregano. It's a little bit more than a tablespoon, but you get the gist of it. And we have some rosemary and garlic. I don't expect for everybody to have this seasoning, but if you have some rosemary leaves, you can grind into it. You don't need to add much. Rosemary is a very strong herb. So we got this sauce. The cheese is starting to melt and come all together. So we're going to let that go and simmer a little bit. And let all those flavors marry together. And then we're going to shred our chicken and add the chicken to the mixture. Okay? And then the noodles should be done by then. And then we'll start the layering part. Okay? Okay, so now we're just going to shred up. I'm going to show you how I shred up my chicken. Sometimes shredding chicken can be a little tedious. So most of the time I do a lazy shred, which is pretty big pieces. Just pull it apart with 2 forks. And then what I do is I take my knife and then just chop it so that you don't get big old shreds of chicken in your mouth at one time and then risk your Alfredo lasagna falling apart when you pull it out the pan. So you just shred it like that. And then we're just going to take the knife and just chop over it. See my pretty knife? It's a little dirty because I cut up the other pieces of chicken. But you just take your knife and do a little rough chop. It don't take long. And then you just add it to your Alfredo sauce. Okay? Now the fun part. We are going to start layering. So we just mix that in first. And then we can set that to the side. I like my sauce kind of thick. It holds together better. And your Alfredo. I have a 13 by 9 inch. This is a non-stick pan. I love it because nothing sticks to it without any non-stick spray. At first I didn't believe it when I first bought it, but it was on sale for like, I want to say maybe $7, and it came with the top, so I was cool with it. So we put our noodles on the bottom at first, and then we're going to put our ricotta and cottage cheese mixture in next, okay? So you put that in and spread it around a little thin. You don't want to add too much to it. So you spread it around, all around the whole bottom of the pan. I came up with this recipe when, I guess when it kind of blew up on the internet. I don't know. I don't know where I got the idea from my sister Terry. She is another home cook that I get a lot of my ideas from. And so I made it for my family one time, and I usually use store-bought sauce, and then would add whatever I wanted to add to it. Sour cream, cream cheese, and then I will still make the ricotta mixture. But we made it from scratch this time. So we have the lasagna layer, the lasagna noodles on the bottom. Now that's the cottage cheese and the ricotta mixture. Then we're going to add our chicken and Alfredo sauce on top of that. And again, we're going to add it pretty thinly because we don't want it to be too heavy to where it falls apart when we open it up, okay? You hear my baby? Yeah. They're downstairs playing. All 4 of them. My husband and my 3 boys. So, alright. So we have that mixed in there. And then we're going to top this. This is optional. But shredded Gouda cheese. Most people use mozzarella. But I just found out how great Gouda cheese is. And it's a sharp, almost like a sharp cheddar. So we're going to sprinkle just a little bit over there. And then we're going to repeat the process, okay?
Like a historical beats.
You know.
So now we're going to finish it off with some Italian seasoning. And then we're going to cover it and cook it in a 350-degree oven for about 45 minutes to an hour, okay? I'll be back and show you the end result. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the finished product. So I put it in the oven at 350 for 45 minutes and then uncovered it for another 15 minutes at 400 so that the cheese can brown and become beautiful and gooey and stuff like that. So when you pull it out the oven, let it rest for like 10 minutes so that everything could solidify back. It'll still be hot. But you want it to be, you don't want it to be runny. If you cut it too soon, then it'll all just fall out over the plate and won't be so appealing. So let it rest for 10 to 15 minutes at least. If you can wait 20, go ahead. If not, well, it's going to taste good. It just may not look pretty on the plate. That's all. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you again for joining me for another What's Cooking Wednesdays with Jay. If you like this video, please feel free to like, share, subscribe. And if you haven't done so already, please like the little bell so that you can be notified every time we add another video every week. Thanks again, enjoy, and goodbye.
Like a historical piece.
No.